What's up YouTube? My name is Sarabjit Singh, and in today's video I will be sharing a story with you that for the longest time I never shared this with anyone. For the longest time I just tried to pretend that this never happened to me, but today I'll be sharing the story of my eating disorder. So without further ado, let's get into it. So my eating disorder happened between 7th and 8th grade. During 7th grade I was really passionate about fitness and sports. I played football, basketball, and I ran track. When I was running track at the end of 7th grade, I became obsessed with long distance running. So during the summer, in the beginning, it started with obsession with running. I was running like 5-6 miles every day. I wanted to get faster and faster, and then I decided to lose some weight so I can run, look skinnier, get some abs, run faster. And before I knew it, my obsession with running turned into an obsession towards losing weight. It just happened so fast that every day, and I didn't even realize that I was doing this, but I would wake up every day, I would look at the weight scale, and I was like, my goal literally every day was to bring the weight scale down. And before I knew it, I went from being a completely healthy kid at the end of 7th grade to within 2 months, I ended up losing like 50-60 pounds, and I was complete skin and bone. And I literally looked sick. I looked like something was wrong with me, and a lot of people noticed this. People around me kept asking me if I was okay, why had I lost so much weight. And at this time I kept lashing out on people. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look great. I just did not understand why people were making the remarks they were. And to me, I looked completely normal, completely healthy. I felt energized, I felt great, and I wanted to just work out and be left alone. Now, before 8th grade started, I had to get my physical checkup done, so I went to see my primary care physician. Now, when she was doing my physical checkup, my heart rate was really low. She checked my heart rate twice, but she never said anything about it, and she signed up on my physical. Now, I leave with my parents, and as we're about to get home, we pull up in the driveway. My dad receives a call from a doctor, and she says, look, I know I signed off on physical, let him go, but I feel like something is wrong. I want to make sure everything's okay. I want you to take him to the hospital, get some tests done. As I go to the hospital, we get some tests done. My heart is functionally fine, but my heart rate is still very low that I had to be hospitalized immediately. I had to be kept in the hospital. They're like, had my heart rate dropped any lower, I could have possibly died. That's how serious it was. Now, soon they started asking me questions about my lifestyle, what I was doing. I remember just telling the doctor it was some crazy routine. I was like, yeah, I wake up every day, do like 400 push-ups, and then I do a bunch of sit-ups, hundreds of sit-ups, then I go run, then I come back, rest, then I go run more. And they're like, oh, what do you eat? And I'm like, oh, I just eat some grapes and fruit. And that was like my whole diet the entire day. And soon they knew that, that it was an eating disorder, and the doctor came in and told me I had anorexia. And my first question to the doctor when she told me I had anorexia was, can I still play sports? And when she told me no, unfortunately I would not be able to play sports. And that's when I started crying, I started bawling out, and she sat down to me and let me know that she would help me get back to playing sports as long as I'm willing to follow the advice the physicians give me and follow a nutrition plan that they will later lay out for me. Now, I was in the hospital for like a week where I was on bed rest. I had to my treatment was really food, and they handed me a bunch of IVs. Once I was released from the hospital, I did meet a nutritionist who laid out a nutrition plan for me, and I was able to follow a nutrition plan. Now, I was very fortunate because I had a goal to play sports again, so that goal helped me get healthy again, because I wanted to play sports so bad that I literally did whatever the doctors told me. And as I gained more weight and started eating more, I realized that what I'd done, like, it finally hit me that the whole time I had been starving myself, because as I was going through it, I never realized that I was starving myself to literally death. It never occurred to me till I finally got to a healthier weight. And I had probably one of the fastest downfalls, but also one of the fastest recoveries. And as the following year, I was able to play sports again. And all through high school, I played football, and also played lacrosse one year. But the reason I want to share this story with you is, for the longest time after this eating disorder happened, I never told anyone about it. I was kind of embarrassed. I couldn't believe this happened to me. And it wasn't until I was writing my primary essay for why do I want to be a physician, my personal statement, that I reflected. In order to write my personal, I had to reflect on all the major events and major things in my life that led me towards becoming a physician. And I realized that eating disorder was the first time, my first exposure interaction I had with a physician that had a positive impact on me, and that played a big role as it planted a seed in my mind towards becoming a physician. And that seed will later flourish as I got more and more exposure to medicine, made me realize that I wanted to become a physician. So I was able to write about this in my personal statement, and as the act of just reflecting on it in order to write about my personal statement, that helped me finally come in terms with eating disorder. I finally was able to accept that it happened. I finally forgave myself for what I had done to myself, and I was able to write a personal statement. And then, this played a big role in me getting accepted in medical school, because my personal statement was definitely, I believe, was a strong factor. It was well written, and I will actually be sharing my personal statement towards the end of the video. I'll have a link below to in my description and to a Word doc if you want to read my personal statement yourself. Now, the reason I want to make this video is, first of all, if you're someone who's struggling with eating disorder, who are going through a similar thing I went through in the past, I would really encourage you to, one, be willing to get help. And because when I was going through this, I remember everyone kept commenting I should go see a doctor, I kept refusing. And also I thought the whole world was against me at the time when I kept asking me if I was okay. And I really encourage you that if people around you are making certain comments, even though and you just take in some accountability and why are they saying certain things. And if you are starving yourself to get to a certain fitness goal, and I would really say that's not the right way to go about it, and make sure that you get help. Second, all I want to share that if you have gone through eating disorder in the past yourself, to forgive yourself. For me, like when I was able to accept that it happened to me, I forgave myself, and it allowed me to open up and share my story with other people. And sometimes we go through certain things in our lives, and and it's important that we learn from those things. And even though you might have done some negative things in the past to yourself or others, it's important to forgive yourself and to grow from that as a person. And lastly, I want to share, a lot of times when we're going through certain experiences that are traumatic or hard on ourselves, in that moment, those experiences suck. In the moment, going through eating disorder and the recovery process, it was hard on me. But looking back, it played an important role in my life towards inspiring me towards becoming a physician. It's a lot of things, that in the moment suck. You never know what purpose they have for you in the future. You never know how it may lead you towards helping you find your purpose, or what positive impact it may have in your life later on. It's all about perspective, and also it's up to us how we label the things that happened to us in the past. For me, I was able to look back at the eating disorder, reflect on it, and label it as a seed label it as something positive, label it as a seed that helped me that led me towards this path of wanting to become a physician. But it all comes on how we view our path, how we choose to label these things that happen to us. And that's all I wanted to share. If you found this video helpful, please smash like button. I just want to share this experience because I know there are a lot of people who may be going through something similar, or may have gone through something similar in the past, and I wanted to share the experience, let you know you're not the only one, that you're not alone, and to also just share that it's important to have certain goals in life. I still have fitness goals. I'm so fitness is a big part of my life. It's important to approach your fitness goals, approach your goals the right way, and starving yourself is never the answer. Taking extreme measures that have a negative impact on your health is never the answer. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much.